I like chasing them too. And listening to that piercing sound they make. The carving? That was definitely me. I was at the rust. I cut up the pretty cake into pieces. They were like beehives. Soft and sticky. Disgusting. Do you want to know what it feels like too?
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cash, and I thought that since we all have to complete 2 interrogations, I just did 2 of mine, but I did say that I wanted to bring the interrogation and the chapters and have them actually played in their entirety, and you guys can then skip it on your end, and I'm be skipping it on my end, but I want to go back and actually look at it because I'm really a fan of the story. So let us go into the interrogations and do an interrogation. I will be voice acting any of the parts that actually that my character speaks, or obviously that's not voice acted by the character that I'm interrogating, and let's enjoy it together. And a lot of these I haven't seen, and if you enjoy this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. It makes me know that you guys actually care about stuff like this. Boom, let's go to that. And a harsh lesson I just learned, and that's what I did. I try to go to Sumere, but if it doesn't have a microphone on it, that means that it's not voice acted. So if you guys want me to do one that's not voice acted, I'd have to read the entire thing to you. But if you want it, these, I'm gonna do Wendy because I did the research for it. If you don't have any of these research, not obtained, you have to actually go obtain that item. So you can't just do them off the rip. You have to, if you really want to learn more about the character, you have to go do research for it. Anyway, let's go through Wendy's. And like I said, I won't be talking as much, only the time my character actually speaks. So not long ago, the NBC detained the Reaper of the Rust that has been wandering nearby the Rust. God. Various investigations results show that it's very likely that she has something to do with the recent mana weapon smuggling cases that have been taking places frequently. However, her mental situation can be a concern. All right, let's get into it, guys. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and especially comment and let me know that you guys like this type of stuff. Let's get it.
Yes, right there. Cut down into it hard. Keep cutting. Harder.
When he stares intently at the electronic screen in a cramped little space, a video feed from a reconnaissance airship loops on the screen. The image shows a young girl chasing after those indescribable creatures with a massive chainsaw in her hands. After cutting them to pieces, the corners of her mouth part to reveal sharp teeth, and a guttural laugh springs up from her throat.
Beautiful.
It's a little hard because I can't put it on auto, by the way. If I put it on auto, it will actually fast speed through the parts where I'm trying to talk, so I have to be mindful. I have to actually sit here, I can't walk away.
Well, this is how it should be. Yes, struggle and scream.
Wendy sits on a chair in the center of the interrogation room, her hands and feet bound with special chains. What? Okay. The image is clearly a chilling one, yet she watches it with a smile on her face, her satisfaction evident from her expression. You like this?
Yes, of course I do. This is the first time I've had pictures and videos taken of me. I'm thrilled. So this is how I look when I'm working. Looks great. Are there any others? I want to see more.
And we have submit the evidence of the drone reconnaissance videos.
Very well shot. It's a shame it's just me, but thanks anyway.
Seeing you update the audio visual, Wendy watches amendably for a while before turning her head to look at you.
What? What are you just doing?
I'm not afraid.
There's a familiar smell on you. Can I smell you? Come here. Come over here.
She looks at you expectantly with limpid eyes, but there's something about her gaze that makes your skin crawl. You think back to the test report. Wendy is believed to be a class 1 mutant made highly unstable by the effects of mania, sorry. Yeah, I'm doing it. Do as she says. Wendy is securely fastened to the interrogation room chair. You casually take small steps forward.
Such a familiar scent. Oh, it's on your neck too. So soft and slender. Oh, can I feel it? Oh, I want to touch it. Do your cuts bleed red too?
Quickly step back.
You have the stench of death on you too! Just like the rust!
She grows agitated and impatient as she repeatedly sniffs at the air around her. Finally, her eyes land on you and she erupts in strange laughter.
I know. The scent. It's the gift the rust gave me. Soft and fluffy little cake. Cut it into slices. One for me, one for him. But for you, all I'm gonna give you is a nice funeral.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I know now. It's the stench of death, just like the rust. Big banquet by the rust. Gluttony buried in heaps of trash. Alternating red and white cream. Cut into slices one by one. Let me look into the incision and see if what's flowing out is sewage or nasty sludge.
The chair shakes and rocks under her as the chains scrape violently against each other, producing a blood-curdling sound. You finally remember that this is the Reaper of the Rust, a maniac who bathes in the blood and dances with monsters. To catch this frightening specter, you spent almost the entire night circling the rust with her. She's a lunatic, and her madness is tainted by the scent of blood. Fear starts to slowly spread through your body. I mean, I ain't no bitch. Still, you resist the urge to run, checking the status of the restraints instead. She is a key suspect. The interrogation must continue. Submit evidence. FAC investigation report. This is an investigation report about the insanity weapon. It's an evil weapon made using crystallized mania. The gangs covet the sinister singularity's power, even if it infects them with mania, turns innocent people into monsters, and floods the syndicate with the rivers of blood. The FAC has yet to uncover the insanity weapon's creator, but it has locked on to the sources of the earliest batch of those evil crystals, the rust. High-grade mania crystals are obtained from the sinister singularity experimentation, while high yields of low-grade crystals are refined from the many corruptors' remains piled up on the rust. Immediately after, a body-snatching ring suspected of reselling corruptors' remains surface, and the first suspect to get caught in the net, she's sitting right in front of you. I'll ask you some questions to get a better sense of the whole story. Please answer them if you can.
If I do, will you let me go? I miss my friends back home.
It depends on how you cooperate.
Okay, I like you more and more.
I'm lying, by the way. You ignore her chilling laughter and turn on the virtual projection. A number of photos appear before Wendy. Red-black liquid containing contaminants mixed with unnameable detritus trickles over the ground, staining the land black.
The rust! The place where I belong!
You seem to know the ins and outs of the rust. Are there many monsters?
Monsters? You mean the corruptors? Or me?
Bars.
Whatever it is, there's always a lot. Alive, dead, inhuman. All kinds. Monster remains. Blue rain. Black mud. And possibly dangerous garbage. People with no place to go. Whatever you don't want ends up in the rust. The rust welcomes all.
From the data you consulted, the rust was especially demarcated as an abandoned zone. Designated would have been fine, but okay. Beginning in the Nightfall, 84, pollutants in biological tissues that couldn't be disposed of were dumped into the rust, gradually turning it into a cradle of monstrosities. It's also a haunt for dangerous outlaws.
staring at me like that?
You're a prime suspect. Our investigation revealed that most of the raw materials used to make the corruptor weapons came from the Rus, so we believe that there are people nearby who are stealing corruptors and extracting biological material from them as they can carve their merchandise into small pieces and move them away. They're strong enough to fight the corruptors. Is that what you do, Wendy?
Carve? Did you say carve? Yes, yes, yes! I like doing this. Oh, and I like chasing them too. And listening to that piercing sound they make.
You're a suspect, and that's a felony.
The carving? That was definitely me. I was at the Rust. I cut up the pretty cake into pieces. They were like beehives. Soft and sticky. Disgusting. Do you want to know what it feels like too?
Wendy looks at you, making no effort to conceal her desires to eat you whole. Don't change the subject. You admit to gathering corruptors' remains and collecting contaminated tissues from them, correct? To what end?
That was the mission! Bodies dumped in the Rust. Wandering corruptors. Cute little monsters. None can leave the Rust. I'd find them. Cut them up. Cut them to pieces! Oh, there's no higher honor than this mission!
Who tasked you with this mission?
Who?
Wendy gives you a cold, eerie look that lowers her voice to a whine like an overhead extractor fan. This is the shit that I love, by the way.
Who gave me the mission never mattered. I just wanted this mission. Their bodies are slightly decayed and ooze dark chocolate paste. And the toys buried in the paste jump and jump! While the little cherries dotting the cake giggle and snicker! We spent every single day together and played with them, sharing their flavor, listening to their cries and dreaming beautiful dreams. Did you know that decaying corruptor bodies are totally different from humans? They're half meat stink, half crawling black mud. I have to separate them carefully and clean them well, then save the black stuff. And they're like a pool of barf.
Wendy makes an awful vomiting sound with her throat, letting saliva drip down onto the tips of her shoes.
Rotting bit by bit, chopping piece by piece. Death and death, grave after grave. You go to f***ing hell and make a deal with the devil.
She shakes violently, giving you a fright as the chains restraining her collide together with a series of ear-piercing sounds.
You little coward, hiding behind your power like trash.
You've already grown accustomed to these sudden, crazed outbursts of hers and getting tired of the jumbled answers. You even start to think that it's not impossible that she could be going to all this effort just to obfuscate her crimes. According to the FAC's investigation report, the trafficking of the corruptor remains near the Rus is a highly developed trade with the flawless technique when it comes to selling, stealing, transporting, and concealment. This just isn't something that a mere lunatic could pull off. Ask about the accomplices. We have reason to suspect that you have a partner or collaborator. Is it a syndicate? Is it a syndicate gang?
Syndicate? What's that?
She tilts her head as she asks this, flashing you an inscrutable smile. Are the mobsters who you're after the corruptor weapons your partners?
Don't compare us to them.
Oh shit.
My companions are way more refined and powerful than they are.
Your companions?
That's right. My companions, friends, and family who I give my life for? Not like those chuckleheads. And not like you either. I have a lot of companions. We're very strong. Oh, and glorious, too. We carry out missions together and bring light to this world. We're always together. And no monster is a match for us. They turn to corpses in the rust. And all the corpses are ours.
Her voice gradually trails off as her smile grows deeper. Your intuition tells you that she believes every maniacal word she's saying. Her companions, what could they be like? Where are they?
Who? My friends? My family? They're at home, but I brought their stuff.
Oh shit.
Why don't you look for them yourself?
A rusty chain slips out from her clothing on Wendy's chest, looking out of place among the other items in her person. On her person. Actually, no, that on her person means like on her body. Actually, funny that that's how they say that properly. It's weird. You walk over to her side and gently lift up the chain. It's a metal chain with several dog tags hanging from it. You can feel the heat carried from Wendy's body in your palm. The dozen or so metal dog tags strung on the chain sway gently, reflecting a cold ray of light. This isn't an emblem of any syndicate gang. Their style is sharp and the information is encrypted. It would appear they're part of a highly systemized organization, and the material is sort of high-grade alloy, meaning that the organization has considerable support in terms of, but I can't get those, but their surfaces are covered in contaminants and bloodstains. They're clearly seeing countless deaths and battles.
My companions, my comrades, my family.
This time the affection in her voice makes your hair stand on end. A large elite organization like this not only has control of the rust and the corruptor remains, but they have sinister singularity like Wendy too. And you didn't realize they even existed until now? That is kind of scary though. Even the part in the game that I'm at where it's just like the gangs and stuff like that, but now with Wendy there's another organization that's out there, which is kind of nuts. What kind of an organization are you?
Are you scared? Are you scared, Chief? Don't be afraid of us. What's there to be afraid of? How could you forget about us? As the FAC's dog, you should know everything about us.
The FAC's dog?
The blood flowed into the machine, branding us into this thing. Like a dog chain, tethering us all. You don't remember? The genetic brand? Everyone had to undergo genetic branding. It made their corpses easier to identify after the war.
Genetic branding? They use lasers to engrave individual blood ions on special metal dog tags? That's the FAC's original technology. You mean you forcefully wiped the stains from the surface of the dog tags to reveal a few letters from under the years of filth underlying it? What? Mortician? In the blink of an eye, Wendy grows unusually quiet. Now the only noise you can hear is the interrogation room and the humming of various monitoring instruments.
It's been a long time since anyone called us that.
Whoa, wait a minute, she's a mortician. That's why she's able to cut them up and stuff like that. Oh boy, the music changed as well. Here we go.
Poor undertakers. Slumbering under a cold mound of dirt.
Who are you? The ID on this dog tag is from the FAC's troops. Were you with the FAC? But how did you end up at the Rust? Why would you get involved with the corruptor weapon? And why didn't any of this come up in the investigative report? No longer answering your questions, all that remains in the interrogation room is Wendy's unsettling, crazed laughter. Contact Nightingale to investigate the truth. S-084 FAC's addendum investigative report. Access permissions high. W0403 framework against the catastrophe subsidiary level 6 department. Catastrophe contaminant cleanup squad. Secrecy high. Designation mortician, the undertakers. Functions battlefield cleanup, recovering corruptors remains, take care of residual contaminants. Current status, all deceased, unit abolished. This would mean that she again worked with the FAC, she was a mortician, but they're saying that they all died. And they were actually tasked to do this, but I guess they all died, but they all didn't die, and they went to form their own group to make the weapons, the special weapons. Retrieved file, X-Catastrophe Contaminant Cleanup Squad. W0403, Corruptor Remains Trade Incident Report. Collective dereliction of duty by the Catastrophe Contamination Cleanup Squad. W0403 confirmed. Illegal disposal of contaminated residual substances resulting in their circulation within the syndicate. Start time unknown. Downstream transfer unknown. Chief conspirator unknown. July 1st, NF110. The FAC established an investigations team. However, due to the deaths of all members suspected of violating the rules, the investigation was aborted and the unit was abolished. Access restrictions to related events have been increased to the highest level and information has been blocked. Access unavailable to ordinary members. So they made an investigations team to investigate Wendy's team and her trade, but they got away with it because they assumed everyone died. So that's kind of what I'm reading from that. And yes, give a like. You've been deep with me so far, so if you're enjoying yourself, please like and comment and subscribe if you haven't yet. Retrieve file, X-Catastrophe Contaminant Cleanup Squad W0403 Mass Casualty Incident Report, June 30th, NF 110 Catastrophe Contaminant Cleanup Squad W0403V experienced a violent attack on their stronghold at the Rust, which was completely destroyed. Captain XX confirmed dead. Team member XX remains were found in an area nearby, confirmed dead. XX unable to recover remains, confirmed dead the following year. XX unable to recover remains, confirmed dead the following year. Wendy unable to recover remains, confirmed dead the following year. So there's a captain, there's a team member, maybe like 3 team members, and then also Wendy is separate. And this is the name of the squad. W0403 is the squad itself. So this is her squad. So it looks like her squad is 5 people deep.
Poor undertakers. Abandoned in the abyss.
For the interrogation, you are almost certain that Wendy has something to do with the smuggling case of mania weapons materials at the Rust, but at the same time you dug up more confusing information. Further information is needed. It cut me off. So yes, Wendy very likely has something to do with the smuggling case supplies transport, but at the same time you become aware of an even more surprising fact. Wendy once served under the FAC's forces, but the problem is documents show that all personnel of such forces were dead long ago. You decide to take Wendy to the Rust on a secret mission. And then we need to do that by going to phase 2. And as I showed you guys before, you go to the evidence department and you have to spend currency in order to, and I actually have the currency. So if you guys want to see phase 2, let me know and I'll do that for you. But that's going to be it for me. I know I'm not on the screen because I wanted to make sure I wasn't blocking anything. But yes, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Again, if you guys want to see more of this, please let me know in the comment section below. And with that being said, peace.